Justice me.
Money in the way for what they got to say. I throw it up, it's falling down, it's definitely in the way.
All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of the Chart Talk with Jake and myself. We're going over the market outlook, member ideas, good trade, bad trade, as well as book of the week. Shake, if you want to get it started with the market outlook.
Let's get it started, huh? We got a partial deal. This is not the deal we were all waiting for. This is a bullshit deal. It's good that the two sides are, they're pushing forward and they're showing that they're communicating well and stuff. But this partial deal was not what the market's looking for, and they're seeing through it right away. So I think we're going to stay in this chop for the time being. I think we'll get months more of this trade talk bullshit. So part one of the phase one of the deal, they're supposedly dealing with intellectual property, which they're very far apart on, and then they're buying crops. China's buying agricultural products from our farmers. So it's like it was a big nothing burger, but it was good for the market. It's showing positive signs from both sides. So, I think we're going to stay in this chop, and we're going to stay in the headline-driven market, but at least we have earnings season and all that stuff to distract us right now. We're not going to be as dependent on, these Trump headlines and his Twitter to really see what's going on. We're going to get earnings season. The best names will shake off that market weakness or market strength for the worst names. So, at least we have earnings season. That's all I can say.
It's finally.
Finally.
Yeah. I feel like even with the deal, it's like I call it the Shirley Temple deal. Like for all those times you got all these tweets about like the tariffs and like the market dropping 2 or 3%, and then it's like you get the deal and like nothing happened.
That's
was like,
it? Yeah.
like,
oh my God.
There was like a deal, but hopefully that will die down. Other major thing, we have all the retail brokers going free commission, which is great for everyone. Helps put a little bit more money in your pocket, spending a little bit less on commissions. But with that, just so you guys know, especially if you ever use Robinhood, people always complain about executions. That's going to kind of come into play with these free things. You have these Scottrade, TD, E-Trade, all have physical locations. They can't just cut away a huge part of their business and expect to get the same kind of service. But we'll kind of see how that plays out as time goes on.
Yeah, you remember 10 years ago, or it was like, $10, $12 a trade for, for these retail traders? It's crazy. Crazy the environment we're in.
I used to pay $18 at E-Trade back in 07. Each way.
Nuts.
Each way.
18. Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. So we'll jump into member ideas. First one, we got Tom Van Meters, this ALGM. We spoke about a few weeks ago about this base breakthrough 190 that's been working pretty well for him.
Yeah, he did really well with this trade. It's great he caught it. He was asking about this chart for a few weeks in a row. So then when it triggers, he's got to take that. And I guess this is becoming his bread and butter trade. This ALGN has been nothing but good to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight green days. What's not to like about that? Now it's just all about kind of keeping those gains, just trailing on low day stop. Good trade.
Yeah. Next, we got Daniel looking at RPM through 70, 69.70.
Yeah, when that one's ready, I think it's going to be a good one. We've been staring at this RPM, waiting for this upper level flag to break all quarter. Hasn't really given us much, kind of been a tease. But when it's ready to go, that one's definitely going to be nice.
Yeah, I like that one as well. Let's see. We got Lewis Stein, the CCS through 30.5, 31. Home builder.
More of a slow mover, but a pretty nice bull flag. These home builders, decent trade. I'd call it a B setup. It's just like not a spectacular name. I don't think this one's going nuts anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. We're going to a few average Joe's picks. He had a question for you about Blitz, the Dan Bilzerian, penny stock.
Yeah, what the fuck about it?
Yeah, the only thing is it's so hard to type up, to actually type this name in. It's just so confusing. But again, we're not buying a penny stock. I don't give a shit what this thing does.
Oh shit! I can trade this thing? Ha! I did not expect to see this.
At $1.80 buy stop.
Oh my God.
Little flag. It's a little trash name. The guy's a legend, but we're not buying his fucking penny stock. His other idea was this JPM through 118.
No, this is on good earnings. He was talking about they have earnings tomorrow morning, I think it is. maybe tomorrow after the close. Earnings season is really starting up with all these banks, and he was talking about this macro pattern in JPM. Very good eye. This is a beautiful chart. If JPM has a blowout quarter or something, I could definitely see them taking out that 120 level. But I think that was contingent upon an earnings gap up and solid earnings.
Yeah, definitely sick chart. Let's see, T Fresh. He's got this ESTC through 86.5, 87.5.
Oh, sick! I forgot about this chart. I was looking at this name when they had earnings at the end of August, and it had a move, and then it's one of those thin names that goes absolutely nuts when it either breaks out or breaks down. But so now that it's consolidated, it looks like it's going to break that 87 area up. Pretty tight risk. That one looks pretty good. I like that. They had really nice earnings. Their sales growth is primo.
Yeah, this thing looks pretty feisty. He had another one. He had this 5, which I know you've liked for quite some time. It's 130, 132 area.
Yeah, I like the inside day today too. We can see this 132 area has been a huge resistance level for this thing, dating back to last August. So now it's just like I'm just trying to find an entry right now. It's like I want to see this flag out. Give me a 2 or 3 day flag below this 130, 132 area and give us an entry. I like the inside day, but right now it's not good enough for me. Maybe in a more trending environment, but right now I'm like very, very picky, very selective.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Let's see. We got Greg looking at Tesla. We're going to talk about this name in quite some time. 260.
Crazy. This is my best name trading for so long, and then Elon started smoking weed on podcasts, and I haven't traded it since. But I think 250 was the better level there, 250-ish, 253. I know Mo was calling this one out. But yeah, I mean, there's a huge break of trend here. This 260 area. I don't really know with this name anymore. It's so much news and bullshit. I'm not a big believer in the company as I used to be. So this was a little more tricky, and it's kind of gone straight up. If you look at the hourly chart, 226 to 258. So anywhere you give it is the wrong out, unless you're giving it to 228, which you're not. So it's a little tricky, a little tough. I think you might have missed it because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days up. So for me, this one's a pass. But I mean, if it sets up, I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah.
Yeah, another setup. I don't like setups right now. Let's see. We got Juan looking at this FAF through 60. Another financial name.
This is a really nice technical setup. This isn't something I'm going to be salivating over, but if your time frames are a little bit wider, a little bit longer, like I'm a straight day trader in this environment. It's awful, but this 60 is a really nice level. I give that one a stamp of approval. If you're gonna swing it, give it some room.
See, Juan, you got the stamp.
And then
let's see. Rounding up, we got Gollum. He's looking at O'Reilly through 410.
This is the best chart out right now, I think. I think this is the best technical chart, best setup with name recognition and all that. And if we see it, O'Reilly, it had a very similar setup. What was that? January, is that? Where it broke up higher? And we pretty much had the exact same trade. And now it's just giving us this great setup, this great bull flag below 410. And it's slowly setting up now. So I think this one has to be a focus for everyone. One of the best charts out for sure. I'm not sure what earnings are, though. They got to be coming up soon.
I think it's October 23rd.
Okay, so that's like 6 trading days away. Yeah, no, probably need to get those earnings out of the way first. But I mean, they have good earnings. We should all be looking for this one to have good earnings and potentially buy that one afterwards.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And rounding up, the last idea he had was this AMP through 150.
Merit prize, huh? Yeah, I mean that'll get up to 150 in like a month. I mean, this is just, look how wide. All right, so yeah, I get it. Nice level, right? But it's trading between 128 and 149 right now, 150, and it's 138. It's dead smack in the middle of support and resistance. There's just nothing going on with this chart right now. It's just in the middle of a range. This is like just nothing to miss.
It needs a ton of time. I mean, we were watching this thing beginning of the summer, that 152. But yeah, just this thing's gonna.
Right. No, yeah, it's a nice level. It's just like it's so dead smack in the middle of the range that you have no edge, long or short. You know. So it's just like the other one, like O'Reilly, great setup. Like AMP, get it out of here. Boom. That's it. It's like that's helpful.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. So we covered up the member ideas. If you want, we can jump into the good or bad trade. If you want, we'll have you start.
All right, so let's talk about my week or my last week or so. I came back last week and I've been thinking short and long. I've really just been day trading in this environment. We've seen so much back and forth here in the market, so there's definitely been a ton of opportunity both ways, long and short. So I'm going to take you through my week, show you the setups, and then show you the executions. Last week I showed you in the last chart talk. I like this this win short for a quick trade, and I covered into here. You can't see the executions because it was 7 days ago. We're filming this on Monday, but you can see I covered here. That was a really nice cash flow trade. I've been pretty, I haven't been as active. I've just been kind of finding my one or two names that I can trade. Just trying to get a win, just trying to keep that win percentage up. This SE, I was thinking short on the brain the beginning of last week. And this one was a really, relatively easy trade. It was just hitting a sell stop and just covering into weakness. This SE. Now, the one thing I definitely could have done better here is my covering. Now, I've been very vocal that I'm decreasing my time frame heavily in this environment, so I'm just covering into weakness. But we see this one triggered so beautifully, and it was telling me I was right. I was correct in my trading and my hypothesis right away. So I covered this all 30.29 because my stop was so tight. So I'm like risk reward wise, I'm risking 30 cents. I'm covering for $1. I'm still hitting my 3-to-1. And on day one, so it's not bad, in a 1 day trade. However, I was right. I was very right in this trade. I was just too quick to cover. That was my main mistake in this one. Wednesday, I didn't do anything. And then Thursday, the market was coming around, and I was thinking I wasn't sure if we were going to go long or short. Let's say here's Thursday right here. So we're kind of in the middle of this range here. You take that day out of it, it's like we're in a wide range. So Thursday I'm coming in thinking it could be long, could be short. I don't really have I don't have a ton of conviction either way, but this Lulu was the best trade we took all week last week. It's just been the strongest name. And it tried to gap up, and then a weak market kind of took it down on earnings. And it's just been consolidating at this all-time high level. I still have a little bit, not much. But I bought this 194 and sold into strength. And then one of those mistakes I made, this team. So I was thinking this team short. Let's talk about the setup. So this team, delete that one. So we've been seeing these names roll over like crazy, and we've been doing really well when they do, like these Twilios, for example. So team falls right in that category, but it hasn't really broken down yet. But I see this type of day, and the sellers are showing they're in control. You get 3 light volume green days, and then it's all just negated one day in a big sell-off. That's a lot of information there. So I was looking to short this name. I'm looking at this huge trend line right here. So I know if this breaks, I can get that Twilio type, that TTD type puke. So that's what I was looking for in this team. The only problem was this Lulu was going really well. My P&L was doing well and all that. So I took too heavy of a feeler. Oh, let me get and so I'm getting short, and then we get the Friday news, and I just my stop is this 129 here, and I'm just trying to cover into weakness because you see me getting short here. I was messing around with it, trying to figure out if it's a long or a short in this area because it's at this inflection point. So then I get heavily short into the close, and a major reason I'm doing this is because I'm heavily long Lulu, and I'm worried that we're gonna have some market news overnight. So then, we have the good news overnight where the partial trade deal's coming. The Chinese delegation was coming to meet with Trump, whatever. So I got a nice little down move. It doesn't look like much, but 127, 129, $2 difference there. I was really heavy. I was too heavy in this one. So that was my major mistake of the week, P&L wise. I'm not too mad at how I traded it. I'm glad that I really covered it at this 127. Didn't wait till 129 when I had some conviction Friday that we were going to get long. That the market was going to continue to rise. So this Lulu was going well. We bought it, this 194. just kicking it straight throughout the week. And then RCII Friday, this was an amazing cash flow trade. We've been waiting on this one. So, all right, this day right here. Let's see the setup. We can obviously see the very tight range. And now normally in a good trading environment, when we have this breakout day, which is the last Friday, I'm going to be trying to hold most or all of my stock because this is coming out of a major macro pattern. It's very tight, strong, upper level chart. That's everything we like to see. However, in this environment where there's so much crazy news every single day that causes the market to dramatically gap in one direction, it hasn't been as profitable to be a swing trader. So I've really shortened my time frame. And let's look at this. So this day right here. That was the last time it tried to break out, and I ended up giving it all back when it came back. And I was like, oh, you know what? If it worked out, it would have been fine. It was a good setup. It was a good loss. So this time, learning from the opportunity, it was triggering. The market looked good. We had a positive news catalyst. Market was pushing up out of a major inflection point. So, I took an opportunity, and I got really, really heavy. I had 9,000 of this one, and I kicked 8,500 shares into this strength. Now, normally, I'm not going to be as quick to be taking profit, but as we saw, and it's funny, it's like in my shorts, I'm like, oh, I can wait. I should be waiting to take more profit. But in this trade, look how well this one worked out. So I'm really decreasing my time frame in this environment until things get better from a trend point of view. But I think I did well in this RCII. I was kicking through to the high of day, all that, and I booked like 5K on a Friday, nice cash flow trade. So that was really it for the week. Oh, and then my other major mistake of the week was this AMD. AMD I bought Thursday, and it didn't give me, so Lulu Thursday, boom, gives me like great action. Okay, this AMD Thursday, I buy it, doesn't go anywhere, so I get out. And I had a good amount of stock. It wasn't like a big loss or anything like that. But it was just I gave up on the trade. I bought it and I took the risk. I paid my ticket. I should have taken the ride because it would have worked out profitably. However, I didn't have the faith in the stock or the market really, so I got out. And so I'd say a mistake there was just not sticking with the trade. But I'm honestly not really too mad at that one. I guess looking over my trades, I could say this one's a mistake, but I'm not too mad because right now I'm so cautious. This is absolute survival environment. So, I'm not too mad at that one. But overall, really good week. This team hurt a little bit, but Lulu, RCII to the long side, and then Win to the short side, SE to the short side. Was there anything else? SE, and then, that's it. All right, so, a really solid week. I could take profit a little better when I'm right in my shorts. I'm definitely more comfortable being long, so I'm much quicker to take profit in the shorts, especially when I have these high of day stops that, this isn't like major resistance where I'm giving this to. It's just I'm trying to catch all these stops. Everyone's gonna have their stop that's long here, so it's gonna flush on all those stops being triggered. So things to work on is definitely taking profit in that. Maybe sticking with my ideas in this AMD. And then team not getting so heavy in feelers. You can see the stock went nowhere, and I took a decent loss in it. But I'm watching this one still. And other than that, really good week. All right, let's get back to it.
And
all right, let's hear yours. What do you got?
All right, so Shaky crushed it with those videos that you just did. I had, like we've been saying, it's been pretty light the last couple of weeks. We haven't done too much. The two trades I had this PFPT, again, was your trade of the week. Again, I've been in this for a little bit, buying this 130. Just was, it's just like we talked about buying these breakouts where it's just, where I'm trying to be too perfect and it's just not the environment for it. So again, I was buying 130 probably this whole month, and then it pushed a new all-time high, sinking quickly back. And I think I lost like 50 cents on the trade. I think I got out like 129.5. It just seems like this thing, if my price was lower, like in the 124, 125, I'd have no problem holding it. But if I'm buying 130 and it's going $2 and it's quickly reversing, I know this thing's probably gonna want to shake out a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was just, kind of, I think I lost 0.5% or 0.4%. So it's kind of a, essentially break even. I guess that would be too was the bad trade. And then for the good one, again, it's just kind of starting this INCY. I bought this with, I believe Connor bought this with me too, on Friday through 76. Again, didn't look that great on Friday, but held 76, had a decent day today. So we'll see if this kind of support buyback.
So
Yeah.
you just gave great information. You didn't realize it. So it's like we are not in a breakout market right now. That PFPT chart is a thing of beauty. I've made a trade of the week like fucking 3 weeks in a row. I love that chart, and I'll be in it when it finally goes. But it's just low volume breakout. It's tough right now. But then this INCY. Remember last week you were talking about we got to get away from the breakouts and then back to the support buys. So we're seeing the things like the ALGNs work. We're seeing the INCs work where they're coming out of a tight support. And right now it's like you got to play in between the 20s. You're not scoring touchdowns. So it's like the INC setup is going to work better in this environment than a PFPT.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then there's even one of the guys here was talking about AMD, and I think it was.
Yeah, I talked about AMD in my shit actually. I messed up this trade. But all right, what were you gonna say?
And he was, I think it was Lincoln. I think he bought it through 29. And he was selling something today, and it's like, I get in this environment you want to take some gains, but this is one of those names where it's like, if you bought 29, you're like $1 risk. You got such good stock. It's like you got to really hold these, and we're gonna want to buy 34 in 3-4 months anyway. So it's like if you're getting 29, it's like even like that ALGN. It's like if you're getting these sick deals, you don't want to be too quick to kind of give them away, especially when they're just kind of starting to work where it's not really on most people's radars. So that's the thing with kind of these support buybacks. They're not going to be as quick as those breakouts. So we do want to kind of hold them a little bit. I know you want to jump in. So.
I definitely think that's a lot easier said than done in this environment.
Yeah.
Because we're just seeing such crazy price action in both directions where it's like a tweedle drop and, stocks just flush. You have this great setup and it just flushes. So I've been in the camp of just like, if I get my really tight risk intraday, I'm just kind of taking my profit and just taking my wins. Right now, I'm not really going for the 5-to-1s because I just, it's just so difficult to obtain them. So I'm just trying to keep my win percentage really high. So it's like if I get those 3-to-1 kicks intraday and stuff like that, like I'm taking it off the table and I'm not really looking back. I'm not too mad at it. So I definitely hear you, but I think in this environment, you got to keep that win percentage up.
I got it.
I just feel like it's easier said than done in this environment to hold stock and kind of see it move through instead of taking some off when you can start paying for the trade. You start getting those risk reward numbers. It's like I'm not fully getting all the juice out of my trades at all. I'm working on it a little bit, but also my batting average has been really good these past few weeks. So I think you gotta kind of live in both those worlds where it's like I want to hold my winner, but at the same time I know that everything could change very quickly.
No, of course. Let's see. So we wrapped up good trade, bad trade. We remember ideas. We got top ideas for the week.
Yep. Sure. This Pan W long. This one had been in a very tight range. I've been watching it. So they had earnings September 5th. They had pretty good earnings. They had a nice outlook, things like that. So I've been watching this name all quarter. And see how it tried to break down the end of September, and there were just buyers just swallowed it up.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge information to me. That was like the market was like in some trouble, and then this thing just came through with buyers right at support. So they're supporting this thing, I think, through 215. That's a pretty good setup. I like this TTD on the bounce back. I like this one through 202 tomorrow on the inside day. See the high volume turnaround they got. So the reason I like this one is because 10-10, that was Thursday, where it like broke down. It looked like, if you erase the 2 days on it, you see how it looks like a crazy short. And then all those guys got trapped. All those guys got absolutely fucked on some high volume. So I think this one squeezes higher through 202. What are you looking at? I got a few more, but I'll let you go.
That's even like this TD. It's like we can see like they were like Hing over, and it's like most were expecting like that breakdown through 180, and then it just reverses. So just like you said, like those people are
right. So in this environment, I'm much more interested in the psychological aspect of things, where it's like trap buyers, trap sellers. If I'm looking for shorts, I'm only looking for where obvious sell stops are going to be for people who are long. Same thing here, where it's like people are probably trapped short in this name, and it's an explosive name, high volume turnaround, and it had a bunch of other good news like upgrades and stuff, but I won't get into that. But so this one, just from a psychological aspect of where it looked like it was really going to break down and continue to break down, and then it had a huge turnaround, that's what really has me excited about this one.
Nice. So a few that I'm looking at, I think kind of the sneaky one, again, Amazon's kind of been off the radar for quite some time. It's probably a good
Yes.
time we've actually ever talked about it on the Chart Talk. But I think this 1760 area has been setting up. It's been pretty much an area since last summer, and it's just getting kind of tight in here. Where like if you can risk 40 points in Amazon, it's an $1,800 name. Like it's a pretty tight risk. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Again,
So at Amazon, let me clue y'all into a little sneaky setup. The such a nasty support buy setup is the failed Head and Shoulders, and everyone's looking at this Head and Shoulders right in Amazon. Amazon's just holding this support like crazy. It's not trying to break down. So I like that 1760 a lot in Amazon. You actually put that on my radar.
See, we're gonna help each other.
Friends helping friends.
There's two, when we do get back into like a breakout market, it's this Mondelez, this MDLZ through 56. I think looks really well. Again, not for right now, but in time.
Yo, that thing looks like a 6 short. Things looks like it's gonna fail that base 54.
You short 54, I'll buy 56.
Perfect.
And then again, this PPG in time through 120. This thing's been set up for who knows how long. It's been a couple years. So eventually this 120 just needs to tighten up. It's too hard to buy this and give it $8 right now. So those the Amazon's probably the main one on my radar.
I like that Amazon. I like that a lot. And it's funny that no one's really talking about this Amazon either. Like you don't really see many people talking about it. And it's a really obvious support buy. Inside week at support, not breaking down, huge support level. So I'm surprised you're not hearing about it more.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those where you just kind of sneak in and people start talking about it. It's at like 1800.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we wrapped everything up. We can jump into book of the week.
Yeah, hit us. You go first.
All right, so I think you actually recommend this one, is Ego is the Enemy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So there was one key page ripped out so far, and it pretty much relates to like new traders. When it's like when we're starting out, most we're not nearly as good as we think that we are. We more likely think that we're more important than we actually think that we are. Our attitude tends to be a little bit off kilter, and most things that we think that we know are pretty much utterly useless. And then the main point is to link up with a group that is successful with what they're doing and kind of follow their lead. And I think this kind of reiterates a lot of what we do. But that's been probably the main point of this book, and that relates to kind of what we do with teaching new traders. What about you? What book are you reading?
I like that book a lot. Let me jump in for a sec. The most important part of that book to me was all these new traders get so self-important with a few wins. And then the market eventually humbles them. So reading that book was getting really great perspective on how you should look at things, how you should handle trading, all that. Ego is the worst shit ever when you're trading. All right, my book, The Rule by Larry Hite. So Adam Chatty in heaven told me about this podcast. This guy was on Chat with Traders. He's like 78 years old. His fund was the first fund to ever manage $1 billion. But this guy he's an absolute legend. He was dyslexic growing up, unathletic, and they didn't recognize dyslexia until he was in his 30s. So he just thought he was dumb growing up and couldn't read and stuff like that. So this guy is just like how to beat the odds in the markets and in life and how you can too. So he's just got a great story, all that. I've only read a couple chapters where it's like following his upbringing, but this guy's an absolute legend. His podcast on Chat with Traders is great too. So I'm excited to read the rest of this one.
Nice. Add that onto the list.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Where? I think we covered everything.
Knocked it out.
We didn't do the thumbs up if you guys are still here. We are not that good at this. But good luck. Happy trading. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.